Hey, and welcome to the show. This show is brought to you by Patreon members like you.
Thank you for being a Patreon member.
As a Patreon member, you get a video of the podcast that we put out twice a month.
Now, on with the show.
See, you went live and you didn't even hit record.
Okay.
All right, we're going to start the show over.
Live.
Welcome to the show. Now we're live.
Again.
Yeah, got to hit record.
Yeah, you got to hit record.
Because I don't want to have to stay up all night doing this over. Hey, guys. How was your Thanksgiving?
Hey, Marty. Marty Dean is in the house.
Marty Dean is here. Mr. AussieIrons.us. Oh, he's got Aussie Irons back in stock.
Yeah.
What's up,
He
Bill?
What's up, Bill?
How's it going, buddy?
What's up, Carlos?
Yeah, so if you guys want to pick up an Aussie Iron, they're back in stock. He's got limited supply, of course, because it's that time of the year again.
Okay, hang on.
1 week of 5 minutes with 5-star equals 7 times 5 equals 35. Total minutes
video, right? Hey, man.
You know, that was the original plan. When we started 5 minutes with 5-star, the whole idea was Fernando set a stopwatch. We went for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We came on. We talked about what we wanted to talk about. And then we ended the show. The problem with it is, and I knew this was going to happen because it always does. We come up with an idea, we run with it, and it's like, just a few is enough because you have them, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
If you want one, don't wait, get them now. And we knew something, we just knew it was going to happen because the whole, you guys probably don't remember this, some of you that are new didn't even know it was a thing, but Install Diaries actually started out as a Facebook Live show. So we would come on and we would do about 10 or 15 minutes on the car we were working on, and that was it.
We tell you what's going on.
Yeah, we talk to you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then what happened is we were recording that footage, and now it's 105 minutes. Exactly. So we would film a little bit of footage afterwards. So I would take both those and I would combine them together. And so we'd have us talking on Facebook, and then you could watch the video and there'd be the conclusion of the video. So like if you watch episodes 1 through 10, I think, of 5 minutes with 5, or I'm sorry, of the, what was called a vlog back then. That's what happened. And then right around episode 11, we were like, let's just stop doing this Facebook thing and we'll just start recording the day and see how that pans out. And at that point, it was kind of a vlog like Anthony's doing over on Ant-Man. It was more of a vlog like he's doing now, 24/7 5-star. That's what it feels like. And that was fun, but there wasn't as much learning side of it, you know. So there was we kind of took that first, you know, from 10 to whatever as like, okay, what are people asking? What do we need to know? What equipment do we need to buy so we can film what it is we want to do? And then it kind of evolved from there. So there was a couple episodes where we had GoPro sessions on our foreheads. Oh my God. And we were hitting those on everything, and that was horrible.
Yep.
And
it's a FedEx Richard.
You know, we learned those first, I want to say those first 30 episodes were really hard. Yeah. But we figured out...
You learn from that.
Yeah, we figured out what we wanted and what you guys wanted. And that's why now we get so in-depth in these episodes. And the one thing... We were talking about this the other day, and it's like, even though we've probably told you, and I know some of you guys are big fans of the show, can probably say exactly what color...
Hi, Mom.
...is... for a radio now, where you can go, yellow is constant 12 volt, red is accessory, black is ground, blue white is remote turn on, blue is antenna, orange white is illumination. Solids, stripes. Solid is positive, stripe is negative. You have white, which is 1. You have gray, which is 2, 3, and 4. Green, purple. And you can just boom, because you've heard me say it enough. But the thing is, and we were talking about this because there's another guy on YouTube, it's kind of skipping steps, and he's just relying on you to be a fan. And it's like, you know, we get about 25 to 3,000 new fans a month. So I know he's getting way more than that, but he's kind of skipping over steps, and I feel like
Saludo, Rafa.
It's, you know, if you're new to the show, you're gonna need those steps, or if you just like you're doing a Mercedes-Benz. So, you know, sometimes we'll say things that we've said a million times, and that's because you could be new, and you don't need to go back and watch 100 other videos to figure out what it is we just did.
Right.
So, you know, plus the repetition is how we learn. So if we say something 100 times, well, then you'll just in your sleep. So it's okay.
Yeah.
But Which door is number 5? That would be the back door. So, like, if you have a Toyota 4Runner, that would be 5 and 6 because those actually have rear speakers.
What's up, Jason?
Jason is here.
Jason is in the house.
Fro's in the house. Got the right stuff, baby. Oh, wait. Got the night off, so I'm able to catch this show live. That is awesome, Jeff Farley.
That's awesome. Hang on.
And that's who gave you your thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, from Ireland. What's going on? Cincinnati.
2008 Tundra with JBL using Maestro RR with the Kenwood DDX 9704S. I'm randomly losing
all audio.
All audio. Any ideas?
Yeah, it's a 2008 Toyota Tundra. Time to do an upgrade and pull out the JBL system. Those amps suck. You guys know how I feel about Toyotas. The JBL system, especially in an 08, it's 11 years old. My guess is there's probably something wrong with the preamp section of the amplifier, and it's just time to start thinking about, replacing that amplifier with something aftermarket.
That's a 50s, Jason.
It's just time to do that. Yeah. What is Sue talking about? Hey, from Montreal. But yeah, I'm thinking there's probably something just wrong with the amplifier. Those were never solid when they were new. Back then the only thing we had was a TY-TO or TO-TY or Toyo or whatever you wanted to call it. Yeah. And those constantly would drop out. Now we have the iData, and now we have the TY3s, and we have the TY4s, and they're better. But it's still a crappy system that you're putting a better piece in front of. Yeah. But if I was to guess, it's just the amplifier not liking life too much. Toyota JBL is almost as bad as GM Bose. Oh no, they're worse. They're worse. I need to bring back Dean the Pirate. For Scar Audio. That was fun. Yeah. 2012 Raptor with Sony system and nav. All my research says the Maestro will do everything with a new head unit, but I lose my heated seats
and cool seats because I have to unplug those physical controls.
Oh, how
well, you keep the head unit and go with the amp pro. You can find a complete solution. That's a 2012.
So that's going to be the God, we have one of those coming in, I think, this week. Because I know we have the older Raptor coming in where we have to I didn't know you lost. Okay, hold on. So what? Oh wait. All right. So time out. If it's got the 8-inch screen in it, and we're all right. I need to know more about this, Wayne. What are you talking? Okay, with the nav system, all my research says the Maestro will do everything with the new head unit, but I lose my heat seats controls because I have to unplug them. Why wouldn't you? Okay, so. All right, so the MTF1 doesn't go back that far.
No,
however, the harness does, because I think it's like an the FRD1.
No, you know what? I think it's from 2011.
If he's got the nav, he's got the 8-inch screen. So that's what I did.
That would work.
Well, okay. So when did you talk to them? If it's snowing and I didn't have a shovel, what would I need? Blower. So this is 2019.
Yeah.
Or this is 11 to 19.
2012.
You have nav. Why would you have to unplug the heated seats? All the buttons plug back in.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. When did you talk to them?
Yeah. Recently?
He put more posts on there.
Really?
Yeah. How was the Bit 1 HD to tune? So, we've played with the Prima Forza software, and it's very similar now to that software. There are still a few quirks between the two.
What's up, Lance?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. So mainly once you start playing with DSP, they're all very similar as far as how you tune them. Everyone has 2 weeks ago. That's weird.
That's weird.
All right, well, check back with us on that one, because like I said, we have a Raptor coming in that's older. That is, I think, pre this kit. So I'll see what I can figure out. Anyways, I was saying so the one thing that is like Audison is when you do something, always hit that what is it? It's not the save button. It's the what do they call it? Finalize. Always hit finalize. So anytime you do something major, it's like hit finalize, hit finalize, hit finalize. So once you got that wrapped around your head, it's like, okay, so we're going to tune this door, finalize. We're going to tune that door, finalize. And I like to export to save. I just keep rewriting my save file. The one thing about the install we did with it is because we went Tosh link and we used the AC link throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like, oh yeah. It sounded so amazing. Finalize, exactly.
Finalize.
Lance, the boss, DOS. So from that perspective, we had a fairly easy go at it because everything was just cool. But what really makes that piece shine isn't so much it's the 3 EQs that are built into it. Climate control show heater controls on the radio, so well, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly, Bill. The controls should be on the radio.
From the radio, yeah.
Because like the Mustang, I just posted a picture of it's all there. So I don't know why they would say you'd lose the. I know you might lose the buttons, but I thought you'd keep the controls. I mean, that's the way iData rolls. Anyways, we'll look more into that. Anyways, so one of the things that makes that processor really cool is the 3 EQs built into it. So you have the de-equalization circuit. I don't know why I did that because now I like rolled my eyes. You have the big EQ for all the multi-channels, but then you also have the main EQ, which is the global EQ. And we didn't get to use the de-equalization portion of it because, well, we had Toshlink. That would have been the only thing that there's a whole big section of that EQ we didn't get to play with. And to me, that was like, man, I wanted to play with that because that adds in a whole different way of things. Like if you have all pass filters and the way it can deal with those seems really cool. So it's definitely, for what we did, we got this super easy experience with it, and that was cool. So I'm really looking forward to doing more with it and seeing because it is just so deep with features. Plus, we have the new one.
Ah, man, thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate it. That's Bismarck.
Bismarck's the man.
Yeah.
Glad you should have told us you were sick, bro. We care. My wife would be like, "You're so full of crap." I'd be like, "I suck at sincerity. I'm not gonna lie. I have my emotions just go from like." I don't know. I suck at it. Anyways, the new Bit HD, and I was just looking at a picture of this morning.
Yeah?
I can't remember what's the new name. Yeah. Anyways, we have the new version of it. I don't remember what it's called, but it's even better.
It's even better.
Yeah. So yes, correct. What is Bill saying? Hold on. What's Bill say? Okay.
You have to probably select it when you flash in the module. You have to select the RR to get the seaters.
Well, we're not going to get stuck on this one. Virtuoso.
Right.
Or no, go back up. He was answering my question. No. Virtuoso. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. The new Virtuoso. Virtus is Morel. And that's what I was thinking. I was trying not to say Virtus. I was trying to think of Virtuoso. You were pretty good with them yesterday for me. Any cool new? All right, hold on. Any cool new radio gadgets coming next year?
Oh, then next year.
Yes.
That would be
Yes, there are, and that's what we were doing before. That's why we didn't go live today, is because we were playing with 2 of them. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff coming out.
It's coming,
I mean, yeah, we'd like to talk about it. We can't. The only one we can talk about is obviously we can talk about the 10-inch screen. So we got the Heighten coming out, which we know about.
Yeah. Somebody asked about how is the kicker key? How is the kicker key holding up in Haley's car?
Phenomenally.
No problems at all.
Oh God,
nothing.
No, it has never lost memory.
Nope.
It has never stopped. It has never cut off. It's never done anything. And there again, there's products coming out next year that we can't talk about.
Yeah. Well, not yet.
No.
Yeah. All right. Hello. I have a Kenwood DMX 905S installing in my car. I already activate
SiriusXM, but I can't
hear it. The 7 drawers.
But you're on the wrong thing.
Oh.
Go.
Yeah.
I can't hear the radio. It doesn't have sound. Do I need to buy a SiriusXM antenna or not? How did you activate it? would be my question. What is it? So in order to activate SiriusXM, you have to have the SVX300, and it has to have an antenna that connects to the outside of the car.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's how it works. So if you have the SVX300, it came with an antenna. If your car had factory SiriusXM and used the SAT1 to retain it, that will work too. But it would say SiriusXM, and it would show channel
001.
And it would say channel 001, and if it wasn't there, you wouldn't get SAT.
Mm-hmm.
You had to have got SAT because channel 001 is the ESN number that allows you to pay for it. Now, if your car had factory SiriusXM, and you put that Kenwood in there, the two are not going to talk to one another. You would have to pull out your factory. You would have to not use your factory tuner, install the SVX 300 in order for all that to work. Or just pay for the service on your phone.
Carl from Manchester, UK.
Tiramisu. Okay. How do you guys base price for labor on installs? As far as how much things cost, there again, have no idea.
Nope.
That's entirely Paul's thing. How we structure it, though, is per item. And so the per item cost is going to vary slightly depending on the vehicle it goes in, but it's usually a per item thing. So, like, for example, a 5-channel amp has an install, a 5-channel DSP amp has an install charge, and they're going to get structured that way. So, you know, you're going to need, and then you have the items that it takes. So, like, you have your power kit, and he breaks that. I'd like to say he breaks it all down and makes it understandable, but he doesn't. I have no idea how he comes up with the stuff, but everything is on a per item basis. So, like, I'll write down all the products that are going to go in to the car, and then he figures out all that stuff.
And then, of course, the time that it's going to take for everything.
Joke. Well, yeah, that's the thing. So, I mean, you know, a lot of the times these cars now with the DSPs and all the roadkill and the fast, all that stuff, you know, it takes a lot of time. We'll work on a car
for 2 days,
2-3 days sometimes now. And that's and it's funny because that's no custom work. So that's not like building A-pillars or anything. We're not rushing the install. So I mean, every car gets treated the same.
It's only 2 guys over here, man. Come on.
You know, every car gets treated the same.
Yeah.
The laser has been a big help. Because we can do things. We can do certain things faster. Sometimes the first time they take longer, but the second time is definitely quicker. We finally got to make the adapters for the Ford tweeters, and when we had the next one come in, we just lasered them out, and it was like boom, done. It took a minute and 20 seconds, if that, and we had the pot. We're done. So things like that are nice. But it's a $5,000 laser, so that's not like it's going to discount the price just because we could do it quicker. Still got to pay for that damn laser.
And it's the time. The time it's going to take to make those tweeter pods and everything.
Still loving to tune on the JL Audio Tweak 88. That's the guy we were just. That's the David we were just talking about. We were just talking about you, David. Your ears must have been ringing.
The subwoofer that you have.
Someone was asking about the JL 8-inch subwoofer, and Fernando reminded me because I was like, I don't remember hearing one. He's like, we did one in the F.
David.
250, but 350. But and I'm still liking the Tweak 88 myself, so I don't have one, but awesome. I enjoyed playing with them.
If you have any questions about pricing, what it costs, how much, and whatever, just please call Paul at the store. He will give you everything that you need.
727-216-6170. Hey, thinking about pulling the trigger, would this be an awesome system? You know, best bang for the bucks. T400 750. Okay, those two have my like that.
Yep.
The T6s, the T16s, and it's like something I've just designed. I have that same exact system. That's going in a Raptor, I think, this week. I think that's going in this Raptor. That's the same exact system we're putting in a Raptor this week. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a nice.
It's a lot of power right there.
Right below that one.
This one?
Yeah.
This?
No. Already got
this?
That. No, go down one.
Right here.
You got that. You guys need a sound system on my Acura. You guys need a sound system in my Acura. Yeah, it's gone.
I'm trying.
Because the previous guy did something bad with the cables and messed up my audio. What can I do if my audio doesn't sound good but crappy? It says yo guys.
Okay, so if we need to do is have to fix it.
Well, I mean, if a system sounds crappy, all right. So let's just kind of highlight around what we're talking about here. So you had a system put in, and now it doesn't sound good, and you're like, oh my gosh, what lasers? I know, right? Lasers, $1 million. So the system doesn't sound good. So first things first, there's some kind of communication error between you and whoever put it in. All right. Now, if you bought all the stuff from them and they did it wrong, or it isn't working right, naturally you're going to go back to them and see if we can kind of, if they or whoever can kind of get it to where you like it. So if there's some form of an EQ in there, tweaking the EQ a little bit, maybe get you the sound that you want. Sometimes that's a lot. A lot of places will put the stuff in, they don't actually tune it because they expect you to do it. Which, there again, okay, that's fine if that was the understanding at the beginning. These are questions you should ask. Do you guys tune the system or do I tune the system? If you're tuning the system, how are you tuning the system? Are you going to be using an RTA or are you going to be using the installer's ears? How are you going to be setting my gains? Are you going to be using an oscilloscope, something like that, or a DD1? Or are you, there again, going to be using the installer's ears? Are you going to be using math and figure out what the proper voltage output is? Therefore, I have no gain overlap. Or are you going to be using ears? If you walk into a store and you say, I want a system for my car, and the guy behind the counter says, no problem. He doesn't ask you any questions of the type of music you listen to, or you give him some generic answer like everything. Okay, I can't tell you how many people say I listen to everything, and then I go, okay, so if we go out to your car, what radio station is playing right now? And they'll be like, this one. I'll be like, is that where it's normally at? Yeah, I said, so you listen to everything, but mainly this. So that's how you know. Now, a lot of people will walk in and they'll go to Paul, and I've seen it happen, and they'll be, I need a stereo for my car. And they'll give him nothing, and he's not going to ask because, there again, he's a salesman. All right? The salesman wants to sell you as much stuff as humanly possible and move you on so that they can get to the next guy. So if you're going to say, I want, and then you go, if you have this magic number in your head and the salesman hits that number, you're just going to buy the crap. You haven't answered any questions, though. If you walk in and say, hey, listen, I want to put a system in my car. I listen to this type of music. I'm really particular about this. The salesman should go walk and look at your car, okay? Figure out, are the tweeters, does it have external tweeters? That's another thing, too. If you walk in and say, I want to buy a stereo, and he hands you a set of coaxials and you have components, there was a communication breakdown there because you're not getting new tweeters. Did you even mention that you had tweeters? Did you go out and look at your car? The salesman should always go out and look at your car. I will always go out and look at your car unless it's an F-150 and I've seen it a million times. But more than likely, I'll still go out and look at your car because I want to hear how you have it set up.
Right.
If you're just spending $800, okay, and you're walking into a place and you're like, I want 4 speakers, I want a 5-channel amp, I want a subwoofer, I want a radio. Okay, whatever you get, you got. All right, there's not much there to deal with because you're going to get the most inexpensive speakers they have, you're going to get the most inexpensive radio they have, you're going to get a basic amplifier and a subwoofer, and you're going to get it thrown into your car. And it's $800, and that's a lot of money for a lot of people, and maybe dialing back the anticipation of what you have and what you should get would be a better idea. So, good things come at a good price. Bad things typically come at a bad price. It's how it is. And car audio is no different. This has got levels of everything now. We have $100 amplifiers, we have $50 amplifiers, we have $500 amplifiers, we have $5,000 amplifiers. You have to pick where you want to be on that line and then be true to your mind as far. But when you're dealing with a salesperson and you're dealing with building a stereo, there is a communication that has to happen. And if you're not getting that, leave and go to the next place, and hopefully you'll find someone that can communicate properly with you. Now, if you've already paid the money, oh man, the next step is you have 2 choices. You can go back in there, you can talk to them, and they can see if they can help you. Now, if you didn't ask how they're tuning the car, and the installer, talk to the installer and say, hey man, can you come out and retune my car? Chances are good that even if he used his ears, he might have an idea of what he did wrong, and now he's going to talk to you, and he's going to be bummed, or he's going to be mad, because it was like, the sales guy should have sold you the right stuff. Now I have to fix it. But it shouldn't be your fault, so he should be able to tweak some settings and figure it out. Now, the next option is to figure it out for yourself, okay? And how do you do that? Well, simple. You go to the internet, you watch a bunch of our videos, we talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. You go to Audio Frog and you read all the stuff that Andy's written down about tuning the car and DSP and RTA and all that fun stuff. You might buy an iTest mic from Audio Control, or you might buy the Audio Frog RTA, and you figure it out for yourself. You put the microphone in there. You invest in a pink noise track. These are all things that you can do. They're just going to take time. And the fact that you've already spent the time to make the money and then paid someone to put it in and you didn't have a desirable result, now it's time for you to learn how to do it and fix it yourself. So it's just like when you wake up one morning and the water heater doesn't work and you're like, I guess today I'm going to figure out how to put a water heater in. I guess today I'm going to figure out how to tune my system. It wouldn't be the first time. And that's how I learned, because that's what you do. Still say expectations should equal your investment. Podcast. I think we actually did that podcast. But yes. I think it means the IQ 1005. Great amplifier. Wonderful. Love it. Head units and DSPs. Whose amp high?
Who uses amp high crossovers?
So, I mean, if you're giving... Okay, on the Kicker Q-Class amp, do you set the gain as you do a regular amp, and that becomes 0 for the DSP level? So, on a Q-Class amplifier, there is no gain control. So, on the external... If you're using it as a DSP amplifier, as soon as you plug in to go into the computer, all the external controls are just void. They don't do anything. They don't work anymore. So, you can turn that gain knob all you want. The gain now is a slider up in the top right-hand corner, and it starts at 0 dB and goes up to, I think, 15 or something like that, maybe even higher. So that is where your gain control is, and the gain is independent for each channel. I usually like to start out at about 8 and go from there and kind of figure out, do I need to go up or down? And I will... There again, I'm always starting with the gain on the passenger side. That is the one I'm starting with. And I'm figuring out where that goes, and that is going to be my loudest speaker in the car, and everything else is going to be matched according to that. If you start at 0, okay, if you leave it at 0, you can gain up on the EQ. So like if you have a really big drop, you can gain up on the EQ. So, if you have max volume and you can't go above that, you're going to have to pull everything down. Whereas you pick a lower, you can go up. Like Andy got back to talking about the gain settings. He's on part 3 of that. And it was funny because Ad and I were just talking about this. Starting with gain on the DSP at -12. Because if you start at -12, your DSP maxes out at +12. So you can push up because you're at -12. So to get back up to 0, so it just gives you another way to adjust your DSP. So are you guys going to change the way you set gains, Andy's method? No, not necessarily. I've been using my method for a while, and it works well for us.
But it's always good to know what other people do.
So in camera, they have a common phrase, know your rules, know the rules. So you have like the leading line, you have the little corkscrew thingy, you have... there's a bunch of rules to photography, and you learn them all. You learn how they work, and you learn, and the whole purpose of it is to draw your eye into a photo or focus on a specific point. You learn all these things so that then you can break them, but you have to know that they exist in order to break them. Audio is no different. You have to know the rules and why things work a certain way, so that if something's not working right and you're playing by the rules, well, that's when you break those rules, because it's like, okay, I'm doing everything right, but I'm not getting the result I should get. Okay, now what do? Well, now I have to change something. So now I have to think outside of the box. So, and this is always funny, because when you're at Knowledge Fest, I don't remember if it's Andy or who it is. They always say, listen, I don't care whose method you use, just pick one and just keep doing that. Don't pick and choose. And it's like, fine, whatever. My theory is listen to what everyone has to say, and then, yes, pick one that you understand and just work with that. But know everyone else's too, because you never know. At some point, you might run into that situation where you're doing what you do, you're putting your pants on one leg at a time, and it ain't working for you. And you're like, damn, I don't know why this isn't working. I can't get this thing to do what I want. Well, knowing that there's all these other options out there and all these other methods and all these other thought processes out there, well, yeah, it's going to make things like, it's like, okay, well, you know what? This isn't working this time. I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
And go from there. But a lot of the times, too, like when we sit in these classes, it's like, well, that's how we do it.
Hey, David.
You know? So,
yeah.
At the end, okay, no matter how you do it, and this is the most important thing, it doesn't matter how you do it. As long as at the end of when you're done,
it's good.
This happens,
yeah.
You did your job. Yeah. That's all that matters,
mm-hmm.
okay? It doesn't matter how you got there. Smile on your face and no burnt speakers.
And no burnt
You're like, 2 thumbs up,
it.
You did the best. Gains down is the biggest. Yeah. Someone say podcast? Yeah, I know.
I got a question with the screen.
Like an Elevate.
Like an Elevate or the Kenwood in your Camaro. How do they at night while driving, do they dim? Do they dim well?
Okay.
Or you have to turn it off?
No. Okay, so when we did the videos last year where we put the Halo, we put the Pioneer, and we put the Kenwood.
Yeah.
The Halo lasted about 3 days before I couldn't take it anymore because it doesn't have a dimmer wire. It uses a photo sensor on it to dim it. They've had lots of troubles with that, and that's the one thing about Alpine that drives me crazy. And the reason why they keep doing it that way is because they use the orange-white wire on those radios as the reverse trigger. It has to do with the 455A amplifier and not being able to change the plug. Hopefully now with the new 50 watt by 4 amplifier, it doesn't plug in that way. We'll start to see Alpine loosening that up and maybe change the plug and add in a dimmer wire.
It's cool, Aaron.
Now, on the Pioneer and the Kenwood, they both have a dimmer wire, which is great. So the way the Kenwood works is when your lights are on and the radio's dim, so at nighttime I go out to my car, my headlights turn on, my radio dims. If it's too bright, I go into my brightness setting, I turn it down. That's not going to affect it when it goes back into daylight. Mm-hmm. So it has a full dimmer control on it that's fully functional. Now, CarPlay just added a new feature for day-night. So at nighttime it can go to a black screen, and at daytime it can flip to a white screen to make it easier to see during the day and not so bright at night. So these are pretty cool. Could you move the mouse off of the mount? There you go.
Right
Thanks.
here.
Yeah, it sucks right there. No, don't leave it there is what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying.
Can you go into detail how to use the dip switches settings on the 455U with a set of NVX two-way components from rear or... Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so on the bottom of the 455U, it has 2 sets of dip switches. One is the crossover for front and rear, and one is the inputs for 2-channel, 4-channel. If you're running a 2-channel... Is it a 2 channels?
Mm-hmm.
NVX two-way components.
4, 4, 5.
So you're going to run it as 2-channel because you're going to be running the 455U, I'm assuming, to the tweeters and to the mids. But the problem you're going to run into is that the 455U does not have a crossover that's high enough for the tweeters. So the highest, it's made to just run 4 corners, front, rear, sub. That's all it's made to do. If you want to use it to do high pass for a tweeter,
mm-hmm.
It's not made to do that, and that the crossover doesn't go high enough. So you're either going to have to use the external or the passive crossover that the tweeter comes with, or it's just a really bad amp or a DSP because you need a top for the mid range and a bottom for the mid range. It's not going to have any of that stuff. So like if you had a set of speakers that were biampable, I don't know if the NVX are where you have 4 inputs, then that would work. But otherwise, it's not the right. You could bridge it and not do active. That would probably be what I would do with it. Is I would just bridge it to a 2-channel amp, which in the instructions it tells you how to do that because it's really weird. You got to use like left front positive and a right rear negative. It's really weird how it does that. But yeah, it's not really made to do that.
You mentioned the USB test mod. I couldn't find it on Audio Control website, or I already have the Audio Frog, but I would like to do something for quick.
So wait till next week. I just taught Chris didn't know about it either. The only reason I know is I get emails from Studio 6, who are the supplier of that for Audio Control, and Audio Control it links to the Audio Control page. We'll definitely talk about that next week when I'm at audio control, because that's a big thing. It's cheaper. It will work on, so just hold tight on that one. We'll definitely be talking about that one next week while we're at audio control. So there'll be no show. This show will not exist next Monday because we'll be flying. I'll be flying.
Yep.
You'll be at home going, I don't have to do a show. And then we're gonna do a show Tuesday. So we're gonna do a sometime live on Tuesday where we'll have a bunch of guests and we'll have fun. But at some point we'll go on and I'll grab that and we'll talk about that.
Yep.
Okay. When doing an RTA test with pink noise, yes. I just noticed the PDX V9 price jumped up. Is that trade with China jacked up the price for car audio? Yes. What would be a good 4-channel to add with JBL speakers? JBL amp, maybe. I mean, they make amps. They're good, and they're priced pretty reasonable. Yeah. So check those out.
Yeah. Oh my God. Trying. All right, here. Rockford Fosgate Punch 1005. Yeah.
Take your hands away from
the 1005 or
2 separate amps.
Oh, the 2 separate amps.
Was that a P or a T?
I'm gonna say the P.
It says P. It's a big amp. Personally, if it was me, I would go with the amps like I said earlier, which is the T 404 and the T 750.1. If I had my druthers, those would be the amps I would like to have instead. When you do RTA test with pink noise, do you have the volume all the way up? No, I don't, because I'm just going for a reasonable amount of volume. However, what you have to pay attention to is a couple things. 1, bass roll off if the car has it. 2, it has to be at what you want to do is play it at a level that is normal listening level. Okay, so if you get in the car and you're playing the music at 30, then you're probably going to want to use 30 as your test for pink noise. Pink noise is a replica of what music is going to sound like. So, Lewis.
Hey, what's up, Lewis?
So, yeah, typically, like in the Ford has a ramp up that happens. So it's like volume goes like this, and you get no volume, and then you get over here and it's like no volume. So it's like you get most of the volume happens between here and here, and nothing happens between here and here. So the pink noise is going to be somewhere in this gap where we know, because there could be an EQ curve there that we have to deal with or whatever. But it goes high, but not so high.
All right. Hang on, I was right here.
I know, it's jumping all over the place. Hey, DNF, can a center channel be created on a 2002 Ford Explorer with a Maestro AR and a Kenwood Exelon
DSP?
Okay. In the sense of you can have a channel that plays center, yes. It has a center channel output, a center channel crossover, and a little bit of equalization, but it does not have an upmix or a logarithm to actually give you center channel. But it's going to give you center. It's a center output, meaning it's a or right left put together. There you go.
Congratulations,
It's just going to be sound coming out of the center of the dash. It's the same thing I have going on right now with my Alpine. I have sound coming out of the center of the dash. I have it turned down to where, because it's still time aligned for me, the driver. So honestly, half the time if I turn it on and off, I don't even realize it's on. But I have it, so why not?
Do I need to replace the factory head unit before I replace the speakers on a 2014 Nissan Altima?
No, you're fine. You can just put new speakers in that.
Yeah.
The only thing you want to check in the Altima is to make sure that the rear speakers are in fact 4 ohm. Okay? If they're 2 ohm, you're going to want to get something that's super efficient to compensate for that. Other than that, yeah, because if you take if it's 2 ohms and you take those out, I don't remember what year Nissan switched to that, but if it's 2 ohms and you take those out and you put a 4 ohm speaker in there, you're going to lose a lot of volume. And that sucks.
All right. About the Metro Access HC, harness for the 2013 CRV, and
it's up top.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
And I gotta add the steering wheel controls. Yeah. The steering wheel controls, but I get a slow blinking red and green LED. I tried many times. Okay, so I'm guessing you can program the
All right,
steering wheel controls.
Welcome to our world.
Yeah.
We don't use those.
No.
Ever, never, ever.
Try to hit the reset button and just wait for like, I don't know, 10 seconds and press the volume up. That's it. Just press the volume up and see. Sometimes it reads the memory and that's it. Yeah. So try that.
Forum tweeters. That's cool.
Yeah.
Should I tap? Okay.
Right here. That was his.
Hi, Dean Fernando. Stuck at work still, but wanted to stop a real quick. Wanted to ask a real quick question. Opinion on guidance on running two aftermarket tweeters per channel on a 2-channel AB old school Fosgate. Tweeters have built-in 18 dB proactive that I can't just remove. Just want loud. So and they're 4 ohm. So a buddy of mine that does a lot of loud stereos, and we were talking about tweeters because you get guys that bring back tweeters all the time, and we're like, why do these people keep blowing tweeters? And he said, listen, the easiest way to keep from blowing tweeters is to run all your tweeters series. So always have 2 and always run them in series. That would be what I would recommend to you, is that try running them in series if you can, because tweeters don't need a lot of power at all. Even a 250 watt tweeter does not need 250 watts. It will never see 250 watts, so don't even bother with that. Thanks, because the Rockford DSR1 sucks. Okay. But yeah, my Nissan 2015 with 2 ohm speakers. So you're going to want to look for, obviously the JBL Infinity speakers are all 2 ohm, which are nice. So if you want to replace something exact for exact, go that, or ohm for ohm, or look for something that has a really high efficiency, like 97, 98 dBs of efficiency, somewhere in that 90s
dBs, yeah.
Because those will be loud, and they'll be okay with the ohm load difference.
That's all we got in Mexico. Oh, okay. So Metro only you can get in Mexico.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'd say call their tech support, but stab me in the eyes, kill me. They're terrible. You'll never get through. However, if you call them at the crack of dawn Eastern Standard Time, so they open at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you're awake and you call them at that time, you will get through.
So it's 1 hour difference here in Mexico, because they're here.
Yeah, they're here in Florida.
They're here in Florida, so it's 1 hour difference. So just call them, and maybe you can catch them.
Yeah, so I guess I was thinking about the crossovers overlapping when running in series, and that's what I was thinking about too. So like if you're going out of one into another crossover, that's kind of weird. Definitely kind of weird. I know, that's why, yeah, it's tough. But I would try it. What do you got to lose? Give it a go. Should I tap my LC7i before Bose amp or avoid roll-off off the OEM
equalization?
All right, so
2012?
Okay, so let's think about this real quick. You're asking about a high-level to low-level adapter, and you're asking about going before the Bose amplifier. That answers one of your questions. You can't put a high-level to low-level adapter into a line-level output, okay? So if you go before the Bose amplifier, which if it's variable voltage is where you want to go, you won't even need the LC7i. The LC7i is take this and make it this. If you're already at this, what is the LC7i going to do? Try to lower it even lower. It can't do that. Or, in which case, you're going to be turning the gains up on them really high to try to get you, and it's not going to work. So that's not what the LC7i is made for. The LC7i is made to go after an amplifier. But if your car has variable voltage and your amplifier will accept what it is putting out, then just do that. So like, solder some RCAs on and call it a day. Yeah, metric. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, and the 2018, so planning to swap in my M650 Pros for the Kappa 6.5 coax in the rear and components in the front. Also going to add kick panels.
Dang.
Wow. Will you do 5 1/4 or 6.5s in the kicks? And then where will you start the crossover points between doors and kicks?
I would do matching 6.5s, and I would not do 5 1/4s. I'd do matching 6.5s and cross them over the same, get the most mid bass. So I would gain match them, and go from there. I don't see why I'd want to do 5 1/4s suck. So, you know, just do matching 6.5s. I mean, that would be perfect. You get tons of mid bass there. Life would be good. Will an oversized 6.5 fit in a 6x9 opening, or should I just go standard 6.5? You're gonna need a standard 6.5 because the 6x9, remember, is only 6 inches. You want to go an extra 3/4 of an inch. It's the 6.5 is what you're gonna want to fit, unless you have room to cut the door and make it wider. But yeah, and honestly, most of those, so like, really, so like the 6 3/4. The only company that I've ever seen that makes the 6 3/4 is actually 6 3/4 is Rockford. In the Punch series, because in the Punch series they make a 6, a 6.5, and a 6 3/4, and each one of them you're actually getting a bigger basketed speaker. So the 6 3/4 is huge.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when you get a 6 3/4, all they've done is they've widened your hole mounts. The cone is the same size. Now you have this giant lip for all this screwing stuff. Yeah. I asked a question about stock hem wiring versus running new. Not sure if you got to it or not. No, we haven't. No. So the difference between OEM wire versus running new wire. Okay. If your car... Wicked kicker comps. Oh, yeah, they might. So if your car has 16 gauge wire in it, which a lot of them do, some of them have 18, a lot of them have 16 gauge, with the amount of power you're going to be putting to it and the frequency that it's going to play, the 16 gauge that's in your car is going to be fine. Now if you got a 20-year-old car or a 15-year-old car and you want to go ahead and run new speaker wire, yeah, by all means go ahead. There's nothing to stop you from doing it. However, if you have a newer car, for one, getting wires into the car is going to be a challenge. So pulling out or running 16 gauge next to a 16 gauge seems kind of silly to me. Most cars have adequate speaker wire from the factory. They're good enough for what 90% of what people are going to do.
And honestly, right here you say it's a
speed wire to head unit and stock to speakers.
65.
Oh, that's plenty.
Yeah,
You're good. Yeah, you don't need
problem.
you just speed wire is perfect. You don't need to deal with going crazy. 98 Camaro with 200 watt monsoon system, head unit.
82.
Yeah, I got all that. Can I replace the stock speakers that are 2 ohm, and do they sell 2 ohm speakers? What speakers would you recommend to replace the 6 speakers?
Passenger rears.
Bass rears. No, you're going to need to, you're going to have to pull that whole thing out and start from scratch with that. We've never had success trying to get anything to sound good in that car. That monsoon system, the 6.5 that's in the rear, is a subwoofer, and it's a dual voice coil subwoofer. So you got the 6 and tweet here, you got dual voice coil 6.5s here, and if it's the one with the 4 and the tweet in the back, yeah. My recommendation to you would be to just pull the monsoon out, put a real amplifier in there, and then if you just want a little bit of bass, add in the corner loaded enclosure that goes on the driver's side rear. That I think A-Trend still makes that. Fits in. You put a nice 10 in the corner, get a shell mount 10. Sounds pretty good. Put a nice 5-channel amp in there. Replace those rear speakers with real 6.5s. So you have coaxial 6.5s, component 6.5s up front, and a 10 in the corner. If you don't want to do something in the corner, whatever, you can still fit the T-tops in if you do the guy in the corner. You could also do like a 110 sitting on the back deck. But the corner box is nice. It fits in and it's kind of out of the way. And it will sound better than those 2 6.5s that you have.
All right, I have a new system installed locally, speaker, subs, amp, and DSP using the stock radio, and my system shuts off before 3/4 of the volume. Stereo installer said I have clipping
on the input side.
On the input side, and it is recommending line driver.
No.
To fix. Does this sound possible?
No, it doesn't. Okay, listen. This is all basic math. All right. If you have a radio that has an output, all right. So let's say you have a factory radio in there, and it puts out 6 volts of clean power. All right, meaning you've tested it with oscilloscope or DD1.
What's that?
And it's like you're like, hey, cool. I got 6. I could turn it up to 28. and I get 6 volts, and that's it. That is the limit as far as how much signal you're going to be getting out of that factory radio, okay? Now, you go into the amplifier, and you start turning up the gain on the amplifier, all right? And you're going to turn it up to where, there again, you're going to have a oscilloscope, one of those devices to see where that gain stops so that the output of the radio, which is 6 volts, dude, pick up a 211. Pick up a Lumi, they're $89, okay? And we show you how to do it. We have a video how to use a Lumi to do these things.
Go to the website.
So you have 6 volts coming out of the radio. You turn the gains up to where it will accept 6 volts. That is the maximum amount of power you're going to get out of that. Most people get clipping because, one, they want to turn the volume all the way up. They want to turn the gains all the way up because the gain's only halfway up. I mean, it's only halfway up. I still got plenty to go. No, that's it. You know, you can do the overlap to where you go negative 5 dBs of overlap if you want.
You just turn that.
And that's it. That's all you get. If it's not loud enough after that, you need bigger stuff. Okay? A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll get in the car, they'll turn the volume up to 15, and they'll start screwing with the gains, and it's like, dude, it just keeps getting louder the more I turn it. Well, yeah, because you have it at 15. You know, why would it? Duh. Yeah. So that's it. There's no, if you got your gain set right and it's not loud enough, you need bigger stuff. That's it. That's all there is to it. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes someone will get in there and they'll put some stuff in. It's like, I bought an amp. It's gonna make it louder. And it's like you get in and you're like,
turn the gains up.
that's not good. Yeah, turn it up just a little bit. Just
come on, Dean. Come on, Dean. I know you can do it.
Turn it up, man.
Dean,
That's
come
the
on.
customer. Yeah, come on, a little more. You know, just turn this one up and turn that one down. Sounds like too much gain overlap. Exactly. Gain overlap is a pretty is a nice way of saying too much distortion, because at the end of the day, that's what gain overlap is. We're adding 5 dBs of gain overlap. We're adding 5 dBs of distortion is what we're doing.
I like that one.
Which one?
Can I turn the gains on my $200 amp to $400?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn mystery for most shops. Oh, it is, totally. I mean, you know, if you keep everything at 0 dB, yeah, you're not going to have the term headroom now. But basically what that means is that if you listen to a lot of old music, it's not recorded at the same loudness as the new music. You can turn it up to match. The problem is that most people just listen to new music and they're turning it up to 5 and 10 dBs gain overlap, and it's still distortion, people. It's still clipping. It's still doing bad things. You feel better because someone said it's gain overlap. It's not. It's 0 dB is the only way to have no clip. You know, it's not like it disappeared. You just change the point in which you're reading it. So
0 dB. Considering adding a second sub at the same kind, will the newer ones sound noticeable? Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it'll sound noticeably different, but yeah, the other one. So if the other one is like 6 or a year old, and you put another sub in there, yeah, I mean, if you're super sensitive, you might pick up the difference. If they're going in if they're going to be 2 separate boxes, I think it'll be okay. Eventually, this one's going to break in and catch up. They'll be fine. So in 6 months, you won't even have that question.
Yeah. T-harness for non-amplified Jeep Wrangler.
There again, metroonline.com. Pick up the T-harness for their DSP. That's what we use. X-mount unit gain is the most misunderstood thing in car audio. Yes, it is. 0 dB with big ass amps is the shit. Correct. Wow. And I'm reading that.
Wow.
He's typing a bad word. I'm reading a bad word. Yeah, power is key. You can't make it. You can't make things louder. It's all you get. Why is it so hard to bypass a stock JBL in my Tundra? It's not. It's super simple.
Yeah.
We have several videos on how to do it.
Yep.
There's harnesses for it. I mean, Amp has their T-harness now that you can modify to do anything you want. So that'd be like the AP whatever. So pack-audio.com. And then the iData AR harness will plug in too right there. So you can go to get the AR harness from iData, and both of those are just done. Give you all the wiring you need. So super simple. The only time, no, because that's not even that. All right, what do we got?
All right, SPL guys stepping into SQ world. I have always hear
Always heard.
Good. I always heard good things about JL. W6, W7s have another recommendation for similar tire.
It'd be the W6 is the one you're looking at. If you want to go with JL, it'd be the W6 that's there for sound quality. W7 is just going to put you back in that SPL world.
Do you have another suggestion?
No, I mean, that's a perfectly good woofer. Yeah. I mean, if you've heard good things about it and you've had friends that have had it and you've heard them, by all means, get that. I mean, the Hertz woofer, the Flax is also nice. So both of those, you know, if you want to get outside of that box. The Flax woofer from Focal is good. And the Millie woofer from Hertz is also very good. So very, very musical, sound great in sealed boxes. Hence why I have 5 amps in the Lexus. Yeah, exactly. Have you guys played with the Audio Frog 4-channel amp? I don't even think it's available yet. I know, I don't think it's available yet. I've held it in my hand and went, wow, that's pretty cool. And I like, you know, Andy's put a lot of thought into how the amplifier is going to be installed and interact in the car, but no, I don't think anyone's actually done anything with it. W7 is sound, Q sound, no, whatever. No, it's not. That's just big dumb bass. It's got a surround like that fat. How's that sound quality? Come on. How would you catch a signal? I'm giving him a hard time too. But the 6 is definitely.
Legacy for line converter.
What's that? How would you catch the signal on a Subaru Legacy?
So where do you get the signal from the Subaru?
Back of the radio or where?
Oh, where?
Okay, so what are we doing? Are we just adding a subwoofer? If we're just adding a subwoofer, we just want to go to the speaker that's putting out the lowest frequency in the car. So if all the speakers are putting out the same frequencies, we can tap in for a subwoofer anywhere we want.
You can use an LC2I.
Yeah, if we're trying to do 4-channel amp installation where we need all channels, we're going to go behind the radio and we're going to order, we're going to see if Metro makes the T-harness for it. But that's it. That's the only place to go. Have you guys installed a monitor in a GTR? Not that I'm aware of. Alright, okay.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
Hey guys, do you install car security remote stars?
Not if I can help it. It's the easiest way to say that. Not if I can help it.
Yeah. Alright.
You keep putting your hand in front of your mouth. You know that's really hard to hear you talk when you're talking like this.
No, but I'm talking normal.
No, you're not.
I totally lost that one.
Oh, yeah?
Right here. See? I have a 75x2 on the tweeter, 75x2 on the mid bass with 100 watts power sub. All the gains set to the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
With all the gains, it's just disappearing. With all the gains set the right way, and it's plenty of sound. Okay.
Oh, that's Jeff Smith.
Okay, Jeff Smith. Yes, actually. Hold on. What is he saying? Yes, actually, the W7. All right. JL designed the W7 to be a high output SQ woofer. The W6 is the louder woofer. Really?
There you go.
There again, not a JL dealer. I would buy the Focal or the Hertz.
Flax? Yeah. Okay.
13W3. All right, hold on. What does it say about the 13W3?
Okay. 13W7.
With a slash 1,000 on each coil.
Oh my god.
This is hurting my eyes.
Yeah, me too.
Best sub stage for sub set, SQ set I've ever heard. Extra points for peak dynamic. W7's all the way. It's unanimous.
A lot of
crowdsourced the answer.
W7.
So that means the W7 is the way to go.
Sign it up. Done.
Take that one for sure.
Yeah.
And there again, you know, we're not a JL dealer.
Yeah.
The crowd who is saying that the W7 is perfect for SQ. I'm going to go with that.
Jason.
Grad evening. Works for me. This thing is... Leave him alone, Dean. Who am I picking on? Ada? Give me a break.
Who?
Sue's telling me not to pick on Ada. All right, guys. Listen, it's been fun. It's been real. Get a W7. Life will be great. DNF Tool Drawer is a place you can find t-shirts and hoodies. It's wintertime, so it's time to pick up your cool 5-star hoodies so that, you know, everything is nice and warm and toasty. I still have my screwdriver in here.
Yeah.
Cool. Better put that down. Teespring/store/5 stars place to go. DNF tool drawer. You can find all the cool tools that we use to do our installation. Most of them, anyways. The ones that I haven't forgotten to put up there. Yeah, that's it. Patreon is the place. You can, and eventually we'll get back to podcasts. We were excited because we did a whole bunch of them, and then I've just not gotten to putting them up.
Yep.
But all right, guys, it's cold. I'm gonna go hit the road. I got some running to do. No, I was telling you, leave Fernando.
Oh, see, leave me alone, man. Come on.
Sorry, I didn't know what I was thinking.
Can you hear me?
You guys
now?
have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on 5 Minutes with 5 Star, or you can catch us on Saturday. The last show we'll be doing.
Oh, look at that.
What? See you guys. Wait, there are hoodies now? Dude, there's Ben hoodies, buddy.
Yeah.
We got these. We've had them. We wore them. We wear them all the time. Yeah.
All right, guys.
I got Speedos, too. All right, guys. You have a wonderful evening. Fernando, end the show.
All right, guys. Bye.